What would life be like if we never found out about NoFap? What would have happened? So, as you've seen from my previous vids, NoFap really fucked us up because NoFap convinced us that urges were like permanent in our mind, and the only way to overcome it was to white knuckle it and battle these urges valiantly, right? This is wrong. This is not how you beat a porn problem. You beat it by changing your mind. It's an inside job. You do it with your own mind. You change your beliefs, and that's how you do it. You change your perspective. If we never found out about NoFap, what would have happened? It's a similar thing. What I would suggest, like, think about a vice that you're not a heavy user of. So, for example, like smoking. If you smoked a cigarette at a nightclub, you're not a smoker, are you? If you drink a beer every couple months, it's nothing. Same thing with sugary drinks. What vice do you do that you barely? What addictive thing, like addictive substance? Which one do you use that you never like abuse? That's how we would have probably come to have looked at PMO. We would have started PMO at age 11, around age 17 or whenever you found NoFap. I found it at 17. Let's say there was no concept of addiction. Addiction didn't exist as a concept. I would have just gotten bored of PMO and stopped. That's what would have happened. It's the same thing with maybe I would have used it every month or so. No biggie, is it? Or every 2 months. How often do I smoke a cigarette? At a nightclub, if my mate smokes and I just fancy it, maybe I'll do it. Am I the devil now? No. Same thing with PMO. PMO isn't this like horrible addictive substance that we've been led to believe it is. Unless, of course, you believe it's addictive. If you believe it's addictive, if you believe it's massively pleasurable, you will experience it to be that way. You will. If you've undone all of that, which you probably haven't have done unless you've read the freedom. And if you have done that, you wouldn't be watching this video probably. You wouldn't have this problem, so you wouldn't be attracted to this type of vid. But basically, if we never had NoFap, it would be easy to stop. Like, for me, I've never really believed alcohol's addictive, and so I've just been able to stop alcohol. It wasn't that hard. If you believe that PMO, if you didn't believe that PMO is addictive, you'd just stop. You'd view it as trivial. There wouldn't be all this addiction business. There wouldn't be all this, it's really pleasurable. You just view it how it is, it's content, makes you feel a certain way, maybe you bust a nut to it, that's it. It would be so trivial. It would be so small. It's really fucking annoying. NoFap is one of the worst things that's ever happened in the NoFap space. Ironically, in the NoFap space, NoFap is the worst thing to have happened. If NoFap didn't exist, we would have just stopped. Or let's say NoFap didn't exist, and all we had was the benefits of stopping. We would have stopped instantly. If someone said, "Hey, if you don't masturbate, you get loads of benefits," and that's all they said, and we had no concept of addiction, we had no concept of porn relief stress. Porn has this neurological cocktail that can relieve all your negative emotions. If we didn't have all that shit drummed into us, we would have easily just stopped. It would have been no problem. With my peppermint tea, right? I drink this shit all the time. If someone said to me, peppermint tea isn't good for you, dude. It's really bad for you. And if you stop drinking peppermint tea, you'll have way more energy because this shit actually saps your energy. If someone told me that and they convinced me of it, and they brought up a scientific video or something, and then I'd be like, shit, let me stop drinking peppermint tea for 2 weeks and see what happens. And I'd stop drinking peppermint tea, my energy would go way up, and I'd never drink it again. That's what would happen if NoFap didn't exist, and all we had were the benefits of not fapping. If there was no concept of addiction, and there were no benefits of PMO, benefits. If there's none of this neuro shit, neurobollocks, that's what it's called, neurobollocks. You should read the book Brainwashed by Sally Settle. That's where she introduces this concept of neurobollocks. I'm not joking, it's in the book. Pop neuroscience has really fucked us up, because the idea that a habit loop can become addictive is insane. It's so shit. It's such bollocks. Gets me riled up. Fucking hate it. That's literally what would happen if we had no NoFap. If we didn't have NoFap and there was no concept of addiction and there was no benefits of PMO, this would have happened. Oh, NoFap. Fapping's quite like, it saps your energy, and if you stop fapping, you actually get loads of energy. I'd be like, huh, this is fapping. I'd be like, oh, alright. I'll stop for 2 weeks. It wouldn't be an issue. I wouldn't feel addicted. I wouldn't feel like there's massive value in it. There wouldn't be an inflated value in it. The value in it would be, this is a little gimmick that you can do. It's alright. That would be it. It's like this. This is a little gimmicky thing in my life. This isn't a massive part of my life, this tea. Have it because I like it. It's alright. It tastes nice. It's warm. It's cool. It's not a big deal if I never have to drink peppermint tea ever again. Especially if they were like, oh, if you don't drink it, you get massive benefit. I'd be like, fuck off then. I'll chuck it all away tomorrow. Today, if that were the case. Do you see what's up? PMO isn't addictive, fapping isn't addictive, nothing's addictive in this world, nothing. Because addiction doesn't exist, nothing compels you, nothing gives you urges. Urges, desire, comes from your own mind based on your own beliefs. Read the Freedom Model to learn more about it. Link in the description, it's free. The code is Freedom100. Read the whole thing, understand all of it. If you have any issues after you've read it, message me on Telegram. You'll find it in my About page on the channel. If you have any issues about it, I'll help you for free, no issues. That's it.